In December of 1950, folk singer Woody Guthrie moved into Beach Haven, a Brooklyn apartment complex. Guthrie wrote multiple drafts of protest lyrics while living there, with titles like Beach Haven Race Hate and Beach Haven Ain't My Home. His lyrics accused the landlord of enforcing segregation and inflaming racial tensions in the neighborhood, as Guthrie viewed his landlord as someone who profited from racial division and deliberately stoked hatred. Guthrie's journals also imagined a future where Black tenants could live freely at Beach Haven, writing of a desire to fill the buildings with a face of every bright color, laughing and joshing. In a more hopeful note, Guthrie penned an open invitation to Black residents. I welcome you here to live, to love in ways you please, to have your kids raised up in. In the lyrics of the song, he called out the landlord by name. Old man Trump knows just how much racial hate he stirred up in the blood pot of human hearts. Trump's tower, where no Black folks come to roam, old Beach Haven ain't my home. But this wasn't about twice impeached President Donald J. Trump. It was about his racist, dead little daddy, Fred Christ Trump.
No, not Christ.
Yes.
No. You made that up.
That's his real name. And you can trust me.
Shut the fuck up.
Because I'm a doctor.
Fred Christ.
I fucking died.
Okay, well, I'm seated. I'm here. I'm in. I'm committed.
Anyway, welcome back to Respect the Dead Dad, the podcast where we don't.
No.
Sweaty. It's no surprise that everybody celebrated your demise, and now worms are eating your eyes. So don't you worry your rotten head as you sleep in your sodden bed. It's time to respect the dead. It's time to respect the dead. It's time to respect the dead.
I fucking died at Fred Christ. The second I saw it, I was
Fred
like,
Christ.
I'm fucking locked in.
The second coming, Fred Christ.
Okay, welcome back or welcome to Respect the Dead. It's not actually called Respect the Dead Dad. I'm Dr. Kaylin Conrad.
And I'm Hoots. No doctorate, no PhD. Womp
No,
womp.
which is just as valid as mine. And I love that I get to say that because every time it's a plug for my video about how I got my PhD at Ghost School.
Oh yeah. And how quickly did you do that?
10 days. Well, it was 8 days, but I had a day to rest and then a day to
Much like the
complain
Lord.
about it.
Much like the Lord.
like the Lord. But I feel like I did it better because I actually did a lot more. I feel like a lot of
creating
his
the
could have been
earth.
combined.
Yeah.
Like he was like on day 1 I made the light and on day 2 I made the sun, and I'm like that could have been one day. Lean thinking queen.
Work smarter,
if
not
only you
harder.
made the sun give off light, this all could have been avoided. Okay, so I have a content warning for fans of the Trump dynasty who are tuning into this and disagree with any of the points in this episode. I would like to say I hate echo chambers. So feel free to leave a long, detailed, emphatic comment explaining why you're upset with this episode and what you disagree with. Really take your time, leave multiple even, and we'll see them even faster if you hit the thumb button under the video, because that tells us that your comment is good. And if we haven't replied in like an hour, leave another comment letting us know. And if you hit share on the video, it will reshare your comment with us. So we'll see it better.
Mm-hmm. And it's even better if you make your comment SEO friendly. Use Trump's name a lot. Maybe throw in a few Elon Musks there, whether or not we talk about him. Because if it's SEO friendly, then the algorithm will flag it for us to see, and we'll be able to take your feedback into consideration.
Absolutely. There's a lot of Trumps in this. So I'm going to try and delineate between them and not just say Trump. But if I just randomly say Trump and you're confused, ask me which one, because there's like
which one? Which Trump?
Three, and 2 of them are named Fred. So the story goes that Friedrich Trump, the OG, like Friedrich Trump from Germany.
Gross. Ew.
Yeah, I know what
hate
they did.
Friedrich.
Oh, I meant Germans, but okay.
A Friedrich sounds like a prissy little boy.
Oh, absolutely. Like a tiny little Nazi boy with a little like bow and those little lacy collars. Like if Ethel Cain were like a 3-year-old boy who was really snotty.
Little Lord Fauntleroy, except German. Sick.
Friedrich Roy. So he was born in Germany, but made his fortune during the Klondike Gold Rush by serving gold-digging miners burgers and breasts at his restaurant/brothel.
Wait, burgers and breasts?
Well, not like feeding them breasts, but it was also a brothel. It was like a early Hooters.
I thought you were being clever with like chicken or something. I was like, don't speak about chickens that way.
Also by minors, I mean like they worked in a mine, not like babies.
Underage. Yeah, I got that. Yeah.
Okay. I do love the idea of calling a child a gold digger though. Like, oh, wow, you little gold digger. You want someone to take care of you and you could just enjoy your life. Like a sugar daddy, but without the sugar. Like a father.
Like a daddy? Like a daddy.
Like a human father.
Like I want a father.
So although he's often referred to as a restaurateur, including in Donald Trump's ghostwritten book, The Art of the Deal, he was actually, by the time of his death, a real estate mogul.
Gross.
So they liked it.
Even worse than restaurateurs.
I know. Like the only thing worse than somebody who owns a restaurant is a landlord. Like, and there's this, they really try and paint him as a restaurateur to give Donald more of a feeling of pulling himself up by his bootstraps with only his tiny loan of $1 million.
Daddy just had a little burger shop. He wasn't rich. You know, those run on very thin margins.
Yeah. Down
burger
at Pop's
shops
Burgers.
And pimping women out. Very, very thin. The burger shops and the human trafficking. They're industries with really thin margins.
In 1901, he returned to his hometown of Karlstadt in Bavaria. Bavaria is actually a really pretty name for a girl.
Aww.
Aria for short.
Yeah, or Bav.
Oh, okay, Bavi. That's hideous. Giving glasses on a chain.
I would call her Bav if she was a little butch.
So within a year in Bavaria, after he went back, he met and married a woman named Elizabeth Christ. Which
Not
also
Elizabeth Christ.
Yeah.
Is she she an ancestor of the Christs? Jesus, Joseph, Mary Christ?
Of the Nazareth Christ.
Of the Nazareth family, of the Nazareth Christ.
So they moved to New York City, have their first child, Elizabeth Trump, in 1904. And then they move back to Karlstadt, hoping to reestablish residency there. The problem was they didn't fucking want him. He had already been banished from Germany for dodging mandatory military service, as you do.
So they were like,
Yeah, I'm so sorry, but get the fuck out.
Yeah.
There was an actual decree. Historian named Roland Paul found it in this just a little sheet of paper somewhere as he was going through things. And he was like, wait, hold on. And the decree stated that American citizen and pensioner Friedrich Trump must leave Germany at the very latest on 1st of May or else expect to be deported. Something that in 2025 feels deeply fucking ironic.
Oh, how the turns have tabled.
Yeah. Given that his piece of shit grandson is having thugs in masks kidnap and deport people without cause. So something I hope we get to discuss extremely soon on Donald Jesus Trump's 4-part posthumous episode of Respect the Dead, the podcast where he is.
It's going to be so good. It's going to be so good. Please hit that subscribe button and ring that bell because you're going to want to be the first to listen to those episodes. They're going to happen soon. I'm praying that one of those Mickey D's does us a real solid.
You know, in the old Peter Pan where you clap for Tinkerbell to live, subscribe for him to die. Every time you ring that bell, he gets closer to there being an episode about him.
I lost my appendix. This is like a podcast canon. I lost my appendix
Well, I mean, you didn't
the
lose
day
it.
before. Well, I had it taken out the day before Kissinger died. And all I'm saying, so I sacrificed an appendix for Kissinger's death. And all I'm saying is I still have a gallbladder. So
and I mean,
both of my kidneys.
Nobody knows what that's for.
Yeah. The gall, I don't need it.
I mean, you're using your liver. That's true. But I don't even know what a kidney does. So it's probably fine.
I need that.
So regardless of whether he was wanted there, which he wasn't, he decided they should at least conceive a second child there because I guess his wife wasn't taking whatever they call PrEP for straight people who don't want babies. So soon, Elizabeth Christ was pregnant. And having been extremely banished and stripped of his Bavarian and German citizenship, the family then returned to New York on July 1st and settled in the Bronx, where on October 11th, 1905, Friedrich Christ Trump slithered out of his mother and into our world.
Ew.
Which I think was like a terrible, terrible act that should have been prevented before it occurred. So if anybody's planning on going back in time, that feels like a good moment. Later in Donald Trump's ghostwritten Worst Seller, Trump claims his father was born in New Jersey to Swedish parents, when, as I just fucking said, he was born in the Bronx to German parents.
He wishes he was Swedish so badly. He wants to be Nordic. Sorry, we can't all be Nordic.
No. Some of us have to be Trumps. So Fred's younger brother, John G. Trump, was born 2 years later. And I don't think I've ever heard anything about fucking John Trump.
John G.
Like John G. But like the name John G would be super cute.
John
too.
G. Trump. Yeah, like Jumanji Trump.
Oh, yes. Jumanji Christ Trump.
Maybe that's why you've never heard anything about him, because he got sucked into that board game.
That's actually what the J in Donald J. Trump stands for. Jumanji. So all three children were raised speaking German, despite the family living in Woodhaven, Queens. I guess they didn't have the same pressure as immigrants to reject all of their culture and embrace American supremacy back then. So
they didn't want to assimilate. Just say it, Kaylin. They were they were immigrants who did not want to assimilate with the culture. They don't belong here.
So Fred Christ Trump's childhood is mostly known through his own storytelling, which seems like yeah. He very much highlights his traits like self-reliance, curiosity, and his work ethic, though if there's even a slight familiar resemblance in the way he refers to himself, some details may be a little bit extremely exaggerated lies.
Does he use a lot of exclamation marks?
No, I don't think they had them back then.
Oh, okay.
But here's the details we know. At age 10, he took a job delivering meat for a butcher, which, I don't know, sounds kind of disgusting, but it's very old-timey. Mm-hmm. When World War I began, the Trump family deliberately kept out of the spotlight due to some people feeling some ways.
The Germanness of it all.
Yeah. And their original last name was Trumpf, but was occasionally documented as Drumpf.
All of the liberals have been screaming at us in our comments this whole time because they've been like, Drumpf, Drumpf, Drumpf.
It's so cringe.
We know. We all saw that fucking Last Week Tonight episode 15 years ago.
I don't even get what they're trying to say when they do that, though. Like, I don't get the point. Like, I get why they call him, like, orange or whatever, because they think it's funny. But, like...
they think it's low class. I guess changing your name to something... Well, I mean, the orangeness they think is low class. I guess changing your name to something that sounds slightly better. Although I don't even think Trump is, like, much of it. I think it's a lateral move.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, it's not like he changed it to, like, I don't know, what's American? Freedom or something.
Yeah. Donald Freedom. Donald J. Freedom.
Jumanji Freedom. Okay, Donald Jumanji Freedom fucking slaps.
Yeah, it sounds like a comic book hero. He's like well hung and very muscly, and he exclusively wears camo print cargo pants.
And he is absolutely AI.
And also super gay.
That AI sheen. So on May 29th, 1918, Fred and his father were reportedly out walking when Granddaddy Fred, suddenly felt severely ill, probably from having to spend time with his annoying little son. And he was immediately confined to bed, but died the following day on Memorial Day. Coincidence?
Oh my God.
I think yes.
Imagine hating your progeny so much that you die.
I can think about it, yeah.
On a holiday, too. You're like, you know what? I'm not even going to stick around for the 3-day weekend. I'm done.
No.
I'm done.
Well, no, because he knew he would be home from
from school.
Little 1900s orphan school. Was like, I could not have another fucking long weekend with this rat.
Here. I can't do it.
So they thought it was pneumonia, which is also a beautiful name for a girl. Mia? Oh, sorry, Nia.
No.
Oh, okay. Nunu?
Nunu.
Pneumo.
But
it was later identified as the Spanish flu, making Friedrich one of the early victims in a pandemic that would go on to claim up to 100 million lives worldwide over the next 2 years.
Oh my gosh.
The Trumps love pandemics.
They love worldwide pandemics.
But unfortunately, not enough of them love dying from them.
No. It was really funny when we thought he would, though. It was really fun when he got it.
That week on Twitter was one of the best weeks of my life, but
yeah, it was the best day on Twitter until Elon and Trump started beefing. That was
so good.
I think that might have beat it. It's a great day.
So when he died, he left behind 31K, but that was in, what year is this? 1918. So today that is 667,000. So
okay.
just a small
just a
fortune
cool
to
600,000.
Yeah, just enough to buy a pair of bootstraps. So his death left 12-year-old Fred and his mother Elizabeth in charge of managing the family's business and finances. Though initially hesitant about life in New York, Elizabeth, now 37, owned several rental properties and undeveloped plots across the city. So she was like, you know what, I'm good. I'm going to send you a photo of the two of them.
Okay.
His mustache and the fact that, I don't know, okay, it doesn't really make sense, but they look like they were living ghosts. Both of them just
Also, I mean, she looks so much like Trump. You can see it.
I know, it's insane. That looks
she looks like him in a wig.
Exactly like him. Yeah. Her outfit is amazing.
Oh, her outfit's incredible. Those pleats, amazing. I do like Fred Christ's unibrow. It's real cute.
His unibrow and mustache.
The mustache is incredible. I wish more men were brave enough to rock a handlebar.
Yeah. Good cheekbones too.
Yeah, actually, Trump. He's an attractive man, other than the kind of haunted doll look of his eyes.
Yeah, but that's probably why he was so expensive. Much like a haunted doll.
Have you bought a haunted doll as a doctor in paranormal studies?
I've thought about it and I've considered it, and I'm still considering it. But they're extremely expensive and they don't have very good track records on the Paranormal Encounter subreddit because people are like, I bought it and it's not doing anything. How do I make it do anything? Did I get scammed? It's well, yes. Everyone who's ever bought a haunted doll was scammed, stupid.
Open Amazon and order a few China dolls.
This is the first thing I thought. I was like, homegirl, I am starting a haunted fucking doll business.
Oh my God. I bet you could buy some haunted dolls wholesale, so cheap. Not actually haunted, but some China dolls.
No, just dolls, just old ass dolls. I'll go to the thrift store.
Barbies too. I'd be like, well, obviously it's haunted with the spirit of a girl from 1993.
Yeah.
What do you want from me?
Just say it was this is a Make-A-Wish Barbie.
A Make-A-Wish Barbie.
I'm selling baby ghosts. Dead baby ghosts. And they come with a free doll. So Elizabeth is hiring builders to construct homes that were sorely needed due to, a lot of people moving into New York City. But
so she's a YIMBY.
Yeah. She's like, yes, in my backyard, girl.
Yeah.
But also, I would really like to profit off of it. So she sold them the houses, but then financed the mortgages for the buyers. So she is like,
she's a lender.
Making so much money.
She's a girl boss.
Oh, absolutely. She's a girl lord, a land girl.
She's a girl lord, a land
land woman.
I wish they had a name for that.
But they don't.
I'll call her a land queen.
Little Freddie Christie had to start pulling his weight around the house anyways. Now the Papa Dun died. And
I bet he hated that.
The tiny man of the family. Oh, yes. The Trumps are all quite lazy. So while attending Richmond Hill High School in Queens between 1918 and 1923, he did the most hilarious old-timey child labor jobs. Golf caddy, which is hilarious as just an idea to get like a little orphan boy to carry around a bag of sticks for you. Like, I love that. Especially because they always wore cute little outfits.
Yeah. They're little culottes.
Painting curbs white?
Painting curbs white? That's a whole job?
Yeah. It sounds made up.
That's like the whitewashing the fence from Tom Sawyer. Exactly. Like, it sounds like made up.
And then being a little newsy, which I don't know if that's like a slur now or whatever, but like where a little boy with a stupid incel hat sells newspapers.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like also funny because in 2025, his son would also help sell a lot of papers while wearing a stupid little incel hat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think the hat has gotten worse now that the text is bigger. Like it was always an ugly hat.
Look
but the 2025 version.
I just sent you a photo of what it looks like now.
The hat's gotten worse.
I don't know how.
He was like, how can we make this uglier? Make it illegible by making the text so fucking big.
Yeah, they have to like spin 180 degrees for you to read the whole fucking ad. Yeah. Slap that man on a lazy Susan.
Also, his skin looks like a ham in this picture.
It's insane.
Again, libs always make fun of the orange tan, and yeah, it's terrible. But at least the orange tan covers his skin. It looks like ham.
The orange tan is for me. Like, he's doing that for people like me who can't look at him otherwise.
Cover it.
Like, listen, you corpse. Get your fucking shit together. Like, a little bit of Shape Tape is not going to hurt you.
Oh my God, yeah.
Anyway, so Freddie's dead. Daddy Freddie's dead. But the business is still running. But Fred Christ wants a piece of the action, obviously. And according to himself, he was eager to become a builder and built a garage for a neighbor and enrolled in night and mail order courses where he learned stuff like carpentry, plumbing, masonry, shit like that. Things you need to build a house.
Right.
However, some biographers suggest he only got hands-on construction training after finishing high school and while working directly in the trade and didn't actually go to school. He just wanted to legitimize himself in other people's eyes by saying he had a real education. And can I just say, as a doctor with a PhD, I find that behavior abhorrent.
Disgusting. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a slap in the face of the people who studied.
A mockery to everything I went to.
Yeah.
Those 10 years, while they felt like they went by in 10 days, I put a lot of work into that.
It's clear that nobody in this family respects academia, and that makes me sick.
Yeah. By January 1923, Fred Trump began working full-time hauling lumber to building sites, which seems like the most manual labor Eddie Trump has ever done, but also kind of like a bit cliche. Oh, Christ, hauling lumber? Where have we seen that before?
He's like, everybody look at me, please. Everybody look at me.
So what's a crucified person look like? If I get crucified, I want to be like, like where the arms aren't out, but like they're like bent. So I can be like,
I want to do that so I can show off my nails.
Yeah.
And I want to make like the little anime coming face. Like, that one.
Okay. I need to get like a 3D model of me on the crucifix like that.
Like this.
With like a single
with the
tear.
lip gloss.
That's the only thing that's glossed on the entire thing. The rest is matte. It's just like the lips and the nails.
And then I'm like Mary reaching up with lip gloss to like gloss your lips while I cry with my little
The 13th station of the cross, where stage mom Mary is like, if you're going to be looked at, you better look good, hon.
Pout a little harder.
So while he was trained in carpentry and worked as an assistant to a carpenter, which again, very Christ-coded, he wasn't yet 21. And if I understand American laws correctly, before 21, you're still a child. But because he was a child that had already been born, he had no rights. So the family business had to operate under his mother's name. But by 1924, ads featured the company name E. Trump and Son, Elizabeth, suggesting Fred was already at least publicly associated with the business, even if his name wasn't on documents.
He was an undocumented worker.
So that same year, he reportedly borrowed $800 from his mother to build and sell his first house, which is insane because building and selling a house for $800 is fucking wild. That's $15K today, which is still fucking nothing.
Still insane. Oh my God.
Yeah. That's like a motorized scooter.
You can't you can't even buy the wood.
However, official records don't show any construction activity by him until 1927, when the company was officially incorporated and after Fred had turned 21. So there's going to be a lot of Fred saying that he did things, people checking records and seeing that that's not true, or it is true, but he didn't report it. And it's always for some scammy fucking reason.
This fucking family hates fact-checking.
They're always trying to fucking get away with something.
Always lying, always scamming.
Which I stan when you're not the fucking president or a landlord. Yeah. Like when you're scamming a landlord, that's based. And I don't know.
But when you're scamming innocent people.
Yeah. To like form a real estate empire, like go fuck yourself. By 1926, Trump claimed to have completed 19 additional homes in Hollis, Queens, sometimes selling unfinished properties to fund others. So when it didn't seem like profitable enough, he would just be like, do you want to take over this? I'm moving to another area so I can expand into another area. Mm-hmm. But having done that, he then gets to say like, oh, I funded, 30 homes instead of 19, because even though he didn't fund them to completion. Yeah.
I think I started.
In his book, Trump, The Deals and the Downfall from 1991, Wayne Barrett details how Fred Christ Trump had spent quite a lot of time lying about his credentials and experience. There's a bit in there about how in the 30s, he was trying to purchase a bunch of mortgages from a corporation that was being dissolved because everyone was going to the fucking Sing Sing correctional facility. And he would just straight up write total fiction in his appeals to the court to let him take over the properties.
He'd be like, Your Honor, this is housing for orphans. This is super important.
Super important for orphans who aren't horrible at all and everybody is totally okay with.
Yeah. Who everybody loves because everybody loves orphans.
Except for their parents.
I can't think of a single sick fuck with a podcast who hates an orphan.
Listen, the only people who hate orphans were, I guess, their parents and Kaylin Conrad. So this is a quote from Trump, The Deals and the Downfall. Quote, in a succession of letters to the court, Trump tried to portray himself as the candidate best able to salvage the shattered businesses, even though his only prior mortgage experience was the servicing of piecemeal mortgages he and his mother had sometimes granted to purchasers of the homes he built. The letters were a series of exaggerations, including the claim that he'd been in the building business for 10 years, when public records established that he'd only been an active builder from 1927 to 1932. So he's basically like, oh yeah, been building houses since I was like a teen. These boasts were the public debut of hyperbole as a Trump trademark, beginning a 7-decade father-son business career that would even distort the family's origins in the process. Trump mythology, promulgated first in Fred Trump's interviews in the 40s and 50s and later embellished by Donald, would depict Fred as a struggling carpenter's helper who miraculously lifted himself by his teenage bootstraps into a leading role in Queens home building. In fact, Fred's father, also named Fred, who had immigrated from Germany at the age of 15 in 1885, already had substantial real estate holdings before he died of pneumonia. Well, that's not true. In May of 1918, with life insurance policies and loans due to him, the total value of Trump's estate exceeded $36,000, a small fortune at the time. While Trump legend would describe him as the operator of a moderately successful restaurant, his death certificate accurately listed his occupation as the real estate business. End quote. And I love that he was the operator of a moderately successful restaurant, but then they leave out the fact that he was like in the fucking gold rush.
Yeah.
It was like I think a little bit relevant.
And also that it was a restaurant/brothel.
Yeah, which I don't know that people would look as fondly upon.
That is an important detail. And also like probably it has some sway on like how well your restaurant is doing. Like people don't go to Hooters for the food.
Like German Hooters. Like
German Hooters. Disgusting.
So that same year at 21, Friedrich Jesus Christ Trump was arrested.
Much like another Christ.
During a Ku Klux Klan rally.
Oh, oops, I spoke too soon. We don't know about the other Christ.
Well, actually, I've heard he wasn't white on Twitter. So he probably wasn't in the KKK, but he could have been in like a Bethlehem kind of KKK.
Mm-hmm.
The BBB. No, he was a member of the Better Business Bureau, and they were back then. They were ruthless.
Really?
No, but like burning.
I was like,
burning,
no, really?
Burning like huge bees on people's lawns. So there's no solid proof he was affiliated with the group other than he went to their rallies, which was something nobody that wasn't a KKK member ever did. But everyone that writes articles about this is like very quick to be like, listen, we can't say that we know for sure he was a member of the KKK. All we know is he went to their rallies. He was arrested there.
Friends with a bunch of them. He had a white robe in his closet. But it was
in his closet, which he was wearing. It was like a cute little bathrobe, and to keep his his body heat in. Yeah, there was like a little heat reservoir. Maybe he was just an annoying groupie who loved the KKK, but I don't think that's better. Maybe even he showed up and they were like, "Oh, you were too racist to join our spooky little ghost convention."
What's worse than a KKK member? A fucking KKK stan. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
To posting little Reddit groups about their favorite KKK grand wizards.
The only thing worse than being Marian Hawthorne is wanting to be Marian Hawthorne. In the article, Klan Assails Policeman, Fred Trump is named among those arrested during a battle where 1,000 Klansmen and 100 policemen staged a free-for-all, which... oh my God, it'd be a shame if they all killed each other.
I was going to say, how did they know which one was which?
Well, I don't know that they actually delineated between them. Maybe there was just 1,100 of them and they just knew that there was 100 that were police. It was like a 1,100 Klansmen, but 100 of them were wearing badges.
100 of them were on duty.
The police commissioner, Joseph A. Warren, said, quote, "The Klan not only wore gowns, which is hilarious, but had hoods over their faces, almost completely hiding their identity," end quote. 7 men are identified in the article as having been arrested, and one of them was Fred Trump of 175-24 Devonshire Road, which coincidentally was the address of Fred Christ Trump.
Oh.
Yeah. Trump and the other man named were arraigned in Jamaica, New York, and all of them had the same law team. So the idea that these were all just random passerbys that were arrested and not connected, yet they all had the same lawyer, feels very fucking unlikely.
It's a little convenient for Fred Christ.
Yeah, and given the things we're going to find out about him after the break, I don't think this is the only instance where we're like, oh, maybe this is a pattern.
Maybe we're like, oh, maybe he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
And then was incredibly racist for the rest of his life.
He was just racist at the wrong time in the wrong place.
Listen, now we can't even be racist at a KKK rally without getting caught up by the woke mob
left.
Police, aka the New York Police Department. But yeah, we're going to take a little break, and then I guess we'll be back. Maybe we'll get ads for
the KKK.
What's something like a ghost? Casper, a Casper mattress. Or sheets. Casper sheets. Casper sheets. It's giving ghost sheet. So I think it's in line. Welcome back. So we're about to get into a lot of racism, but first I want to talk about Freddles as a dad, because he was a weird little freak.
Oh, I would have thought that somebody who'd raise someone as like well-adjusted and cool as Donald J. Trump would be a good dad.
He's definitely a better dad than Donald, given the things that I've seen him say about his daughters, which are so far beyond unhinged.
Real weird.
Real fucking weird. But okay, he did things like he would have nightly briefings from his wife, Mary, about the kids' behavior, and then would like stroll on down to discipline them for anything that they'd done. So it sounded like he kind of really enjoyed it.
Nightly briefings is hilarious, though. When I'm a mom, I want to write up a memo.
It's like, you want me to put this in the briefing? No, I didn't think so. Now eat
on your record.
Eat your leaded carrots or whatever we have in the 1900s. Their home had both a surveillance system and an intercom, which Fred would use to monitor and reprimand the children.
That's crazy. So that's also funny.
He would listen to them play, basically, and just be like, "Aye!" Which I love.
Yeah, using the baby monitor to be like, I see you, you little shit.
Yeah, exactly.
I saw that.
He was a lifelong teetotaler and ran a tight ship at home, enforcing strict rules on language, behavior, appearance, no cursing, no lipstick, no between meal snacks, and discouraged hobbies like music and pushed his children to focus on business and productivity. But he was so like wishy-washy about it. Like he's trying to come across like he's enforcing a good work ethic on his kids. So he does things like make the boys get paper routes. But then if it was like raining, it was like spitting outside, Daddy let them deliver their papers in a limousine.
I did hear this. I heard that Trump had a paper route and he used his driver and his limousine to deliver the papers, which I also think is hilarious and iconic. Like,
that's perfect.
Sorry, sometimes Donald Trump is very funny.
The facade
and that's one of the funny things
of being working class.
Yeah.
And then seeing what it actually was. It's like when I was a kid, I had a paper route. Like these kids today don't even want to work. They're like in the back of Daddy's limo because it started. It might spit in the afternoon.
Chucking newspapers out of the payload of Daddy's private jet. Like, here you go.
And I'm assuming he would make the driver throw them too if it was on the wrong side.
Yeah, I don't want to get my hand wet.
You know, I'm allergic to washing my hands. But then at the same time, he would bring his kids to construction sites to collect discarded bottles for deposit refunds. Like he was so...
Oh, he's like a weird miser.
Yeah. But then he would also do things like bring them to the construction sites to get used nails to reuse, which seems like a horrible thing to use in a home. I don't know if you're supposed to reuse
was a weird
nails.
Miser.
Right? Isn't that weird? Like,
yeah.
Like, oh, you can lend out the fucking limousine and pay for the gas for that, but then you're like reusing nails or whatever. He hoped his eldest son, Fred Jr., would inherit the business and trained him to be emotionally bulletproof, but Fred Jr. was not like that. And his daughter, Mary L. Trump, said her grandfather humiliated and criticized him relentlessly, especially for choosing to become an airline pilot, which seems like a fucking reasonable thing to be. Like, most people these days would be proud of their child for becoming a pilot. But he's
nice
like, what,
salary.
you're like a fucking sky taxi driver? Is fucking disgusting. The sky
Christ.
chauffeur.
I did know that, like, I heard that Fred Trump the younger had been like bullied relentlessly and then ended up like dying of alcoholism or like alcoholism related problems. Yeah. And that's the reason Donald is a teetotaler.
Yeah.
Which I have a lot of sympathy for. Like, I think that's like the least weird thing about him.
Well, yeah. And I think the world would be in a much worse place if Donald Trump is also fucking shit-faced every night.
Yeah. I mean, he's definitely on drugs a lot, but like,
oh, of course.
It would be so much worse if he was like on uppers and drunk.
Yeah. So Fred Sr. instead puts his hopes into Donald Jumanji Freedom.
It's like, maybe
pushing
I can
him to
turn
be
you into my little sociopath.
And he did. He was like feeding him mottos like "be a killer" and "you are a king."
Oh my God.
I mean, it seems like he took to heart.
He was a boy mom.
I will say.
He's like, "You're my little king. Nobody can touch you."
So in 1933, Fred Trump constructed one of New York City's earliest modern self-service grocery stores, Trump Market, located in Woodhaven, Queens.
Trump Market.
I know.
Going down
and
to
he was
T-Mart.
one of the first ones to start like calling things like Trump.
By his name.
Yeah.
I mean, that is smart. Like the branding is on point. Again, like
Donald took it way farther, but Fred Trump's the one that started it. The store was inspired by King Cullen, a pioneering supermarket chain on Long Island. And Trump Market promoted the slogan, "Serve yourself and save." And people liked saving.
And serving themselves.
Well, they didn't want to have to deal with like a disgusting cashier.
Oh my God, it's so much better. Self-service.
I know. Which I don't know how that worked back then.
Is it just like on the honor system? Which, to be fair, like self-service checkouts are nowadays. I'm
absolutely.
I only took one garlic.
I mean, I've never stolen anything in my life, so I don't know anything about that. But I'm a doctor. And doctors cannot lie. They're actually
not allowed to. It's what happens when you take your doctor oath.
But 6 months after opening, Trump sold it to King Cullen. So I guess that's a success if the entire reason why you're opening a business is to increase your financial standing and not because like you have any interest in it whatsoever. Which is what like all the dude bros do, I think. The following year is when Christ Trump had his little bit of lying in court to take over that sham company's mortgages. And that ended up being successful. He had a business partner acquiring the mortgage servicing arm of the now bankrupt J. Lehrenkraus Corporation, where they all went to Sing Sing, which now gave him the titles of numerous properties close to foreclosure. So he saved a shit ton of money on them and then flipped them and made a shit ton of money on them.
Right. Back when flipping could really get you something.
Yeah. And because when you bought things on foreclosure back then, it was like a fucking shiny nickel.
Yeah.
And because all the other real estate moguls are paying attention to what he's doing, he now gets like a really good reputation as if this isn't just like a super gross fucking predatory thing that he's doing.
As if he's not flipping these foreclosed buildings with used nails.
Yeah. So Fred Trump began leveraging Federal Housing Administration, FHA, loan subsidies shortly after they were introduced by the National Housing Act of 1934 because they wanted houses built. Like they needed homes, both for just like people that lived in the city, but around like military bases and like there's so much development going on. They need people building these. So they're now going to offer people government handouts to encourage people to build. And these programs allowed him to grow his business so rapidly because they also were facilitating redlining. And for those who don't know, because you're not American or you don't have X the Everything app where you can read incorrect information about basically everything. Redlining refers to the racist practice where banks, insurers, and like other financial institutions refuse or limit services like loans, insurance, or healthcare to residents of certain areas. They wouldn't say this is why, but it is absolutely based on racial or ethnic composition, especially at the time targeting neighborhoods with large populations of people who are Black or Mexican.
Right.
So they'll say it's because they're low income.
Right.
But as we'll see in a second, that's absolutely
not. They were profiling.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is another thing I knew as well about both the older Trump and also Donald. Because Donald actually got into some legal trouble for doing this shit.
Yes. And by this point, Fred has put all of his eggs in the Donald basket. Mm-hmm. As his heir.
All of his little racist eggs in his racist basket.
Yeah. So they're working on this together. Okay, to be fair, those like Easter grass, I think it's called. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I'm talking about? His hair is a lot like that like little Easter grass you put in like a cute little basket with your
Donald's
decorated eggs. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The yellow stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. The yellow stuff. That's what I always call it.
Stuff.
I'm going to send you a picture of Fred Christ, too. I'm sure you've seen him. But around this time, he's looking pretty fucked up. Pretty
His
Disney.
So
like, he looks
big.
like Disney.
He does. He looks like Disney if you went into Photoshop and, like, shrunk his face a little bit on his skull.
Yeah. He's giving L. Ron Disney.
Yeah. For sure. His forehead is so big. That is a 7 head.
Well, because
heads up, 7 up.
He's so smart.
Oh, right.
That's what happens.
That's what happens. Your brain grows, and then your skull has to get a little bigger to accommodate it.
So redlining typically results in denial of credit, either mortgages or business loans. And I never really hear people talk about the business aspect of it. But
can't form generational wealth if you can't start your business.
Exactly. So not only can you not work in the areas for yourself where the money is and where the populations are, you're forced to stay out of the areas almost entirely. And back then it would basically be like, you have no business even being here because you don't work near here, you don't live near here, unless you're working for somebody else. And on top of that, the redlining created food deserts, which I'm assuming most people know, but it's where affordable, nutritious food is hard or nearly impossible to obtain. The term redlining comes from maps created by federal agencies and banks that outlined minority neighborhoods in red, signaling them as too risky for investment, regardless of individual residents' ability to pay off loans. They did not care. This was like, you could be fucking stacked with bills. Mm-hmm. They would not care if you were in one of these neighborhoods, and you can't get out of these fucking neighborhoods because they would not sell to people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in the 1980s, investigative journalist Bill Dedman, which amazing name for this podcast. I'm so sorry.
Bill Dedman?
Deadman.
Oh, Deadman? That's incredible.
D-E-D-M-A-N.
How do you even end up with that name? Oh my God.
I know. Obsessed with you, Bill Deadman. Published a Pulitzer Prize-winning series exposing modern redlining practices and revealed that banks routinely approved loans in lower-income white neighborhoods while refusing to lend in middle and upper-income Black neighborhoods. And the investigation highlighted how race, not income, was the primary factor driving discriminatory lending decisions, despite what the banks were trying to tell people. And we'll get into that more in a second. By 1936, Fred Antichrist employed 400 workers to dig foundations for homes priced between $3,000 and $6,250, which is crazy. Now that would be between $67,000 and $140,000, which
that's
still
crazy.
Very cheap for a home.
Yeah. Where do you even find a house that cheap?
A loaf of bread is that much now.
Yeah.
That's how much I spend on avocados every year.
Mm-hmm.
So Trump adopted his father's pricing trick. This is so funny, of ending houses. Houses were so cheap back then that Trump was like, let's end the price in 99 cents to appeal appeal psychologically to buyers, which I just think is extremely funny. Like, it's not a chocolate bar.
$69.99.
Like, the bag of bricks for a brain you must have if you were like, let's get this house that's $2,999.99 because that's like way cheaper than this $3,000 house.
Yeah.
Like, I could see it working with like a Kinder Surprise or something.
Right.
Like a literal home. Like,
this must really hit hard.
Americans are so stupid. In the late 1930s, he marketed his homes with a patriotic boat off of Coney Island, which played music and released swordfish-shaped balloons that could be redeemed for $25 or $250 towards a home purchase, depending which one you caught, which like literally feels like something from Animal Crossing.
Amazing.
Like,
I love that. Yeah. They should do that again.
$25 off a home.
Yeah, $25 off my home.
$24.99 off your next home. Fucking amazing. That wouldn't even buy like a key, like a.
But I'd still be pushing over orphans to grab one of those balloons.
Can I, like, do they stack? Like, can I bring in multiple balloons?
Yeah. Can I bring in a $250 one and a $25 one and get $224.99 off?
So in the 2016 book, Trump Revealed, An American Journey of Ambition, Ego, Money, and Power, Fred Trump was quoted as saying in 1936, as a certain special event approached, quote, "In the event of war, I believe that the profit will be quicker and larger," end quote. Which is very similar to like around 9/11 when Trump was like, oh, this is going to be great for business, honey.
Great for business, yeah. I mean, like, I know it's very common for the upper classes to be war profiteers, but you can't just say that. You have to be a little subtle about it. You have to be just like a little, like, don't say the quiet part out loud.
You have to be like a Democrat at a donor dinner where you like are like, listen, nothing's gonna change really. Like,
yeah.
When I say progressive, I mean like stagnant. I mean like stasis.
I mean like in the way that you're moving forward when you're standing still.
You know how we're always moving forward because time is always moving forward. So in a way,
it's just like that.
We are progressing. So in 1938, the Brooklyn Daily Eagle called Fred Trump the Henry Ford of the home building industry.
The Daily Eagle is a really funny name for a newspaper. It sounds like a fucking comic book newspaper.
It doesn't fucking mean anything either.
The Daily Eagle.
The fuck does that mean?
What does that mean?
An eagle a day.
Keeps the brain cells away.
But I like to think the Daily Eagle called him the Henry Ford of home building because they were hilarious and knew Henry Ford was an uncompromisingly committed, vitriolic racist and anti-Semite.
Horrible anti-Semite.
Yeah. They're like, he's a lot like Henry Ford. So Fred Trump had predicted, obviously, that World War II would boost his business. And that prediction proved accurate because in 1941, the Federal Office of Production Management approved the use of FHA funding for defense housing in Bensonhurst, Brooklyn, due to its proximity to the Brooklyn Navy Yard. And by 1942, Trump had built 2,000 Brooklyn homes using government handouts from the Federal Housing Administration. So he is just like siphoning money from the government.
Those subsidies, yeah. Is that they hate handouts when it's actually poor people getting them. But they love government subsidies when it's like rich landlords getting it.
Yeah, there was so many times while writing the script where I was like, should I do the thing where I'm like, and this is ironic because but I decided to only do it in like a handful of them. But it's all of
really
them.
Annoying.
Everything he does. Yeah. This episode would be like 10 hours if I stopped every time to do that. After the US entered World War II, following something called Pearl's Harbor, which sounds beautiful.
Beautiful name for a girl.
I would absolutely go to that restaurant. The Brooklyn plan was scrapped in favor of defense housing near naval hubs. And Trump was already building an apartment complex in Norfolk, Virginia. And that was like a key naval center. So he was like, we're going to focus there. But then Congress amended the National Housing Act to allow mortgage insurance for defense housing, which meant he got to retain ownership of the wartime units he built. So
you could still extract more money from them.
Just increasing amounts of money. And by 1944, there is 1,360 wartime apartments in Norfolk, which was nearly 10% of the total built there that he was owning.
Dude, if you can get the military to start paying you money, you're fucking golden.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why everybody wants to be a war profiteer.
Yeah.
Because they'll just pay whatever. They don't care.
Yeah. And then he started building military housing, like barracks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's fucking... The money is rolling in. And this is in Norfolk, Virginia, Pennsylvania. Like, he is... The idea that Trump just got like a little $1 million from him is insane. Like, this guy was fucking rich.
Mm-hmm.
But after World War II, he shifted to focusing to build middle income housing so he can now profit post-war on the returning veterans and their families. Like, he was just, smart. Evil, but smart.
Yeah. He's thinking like a landlord.
Between 1947 and 1949, he developed Shore Haven in Bensonhurst, a complex of 32 six-story buildings and a shopping center across 30 acres. So now he even has like entire...
Like villages.
The Shore Haven project secured $9 million in funding from Fred Trump's sugar daddy, the FHA. And in 1950, using some of that money, he constructed the Beach Haven Apartments near Coney Island, which was 23 buildings over 40 acres. And this is where Woody Guthrie lived. And that project also received $16 million in FHA support.
Jesus.
Altogether, these developments included over 2,700 apartment units subsidized by the taxpayers in America, many of which were people of color who were about to be fucked over even more by the system and by racist pieces of shit like Fred, who benefited from it while exploiting it.
And not letting them live there, too.
Yeah.
Like literally siphoning their tax dollars off and then denying them like the right to lease or rent there.
And not only that, in 1954, President Eisenhower and federal officials began being like, is something going on here? Because we are giving this guy like a lot of money. We're giving a lot of these people a lot of money, and they seem to be like estate profiteering, which is still bad at that point. So that prompted some investigations, and people started to look into the Trumps. That June, the New York Times listed Fred Trump among 35 New York developers suspected of exploiting government housing contracts. And Trump and his business partner, William Tomasello, were investigated by the U.S. Senate Banking Committee for abusing FHA policies, which, sounds about fucking right at this point. And they done extremely on-brand like for the Trump stuff. Like they paid $34,000 for a plot of land and leased it to their own corporation for $76,000 per year over 99 years, ensuring that if the apartment project failed, the FHA would now owe them $2 million.
Oh my God. That's some Enron shit. That's some genius crime math.
And like, I love scams, but when you're not scamming like poor people.
Yeah.
Like that's...
When poor people aren't getting fucked over.
You're scamming the wrong way.
They can't all be Elizabeth Holmes.
No.
They can't all be icons like Elizabeth Holmes.
So Fred Trump and Tomasello secured $3.5 million more in loans than the actual cost of constructing the Beach Haven apartments, something I've also heard Donald has done with his famous set of resorts, the Rainforest Cafe or whatever. Trump defended himself by saying he hadn't actually taken the excess money and therefore had made a personal profit and that it was just rising construction costs. Then was like, but like, so this is just, I'm putting the money aside because what if costs rise and then I need it later? And they were like, that's actually not how that works. He was like, well, I invested the money, so I don't have it anymore. And that's to cover like future costs. So like really in the future, you'd be saving money anyway. Like, well, no, but you stole from us. That's actually
no, but
like, you don't get to be
from
like
you so that in the future, if I need to, I could give it back to you.
I stole from you, but you don't understand. It was so I could make more money. And like, yeah, no, we get why you stole. It's because you're greedy, but that's not your money. Give it back. And usually, like in most places, when you lie to the government, you shouldn't be able to get away with like, but if I didn't lie and steal, I wouldn't have made as much money. Unfortunately, the government is garbage. So he basically got away with it. Yeah.
He was like, but money? But I wanted money.
But my money.
Money.
My Christ. Are you going to take money from Christ?
Ooh. You know who else took money from Christ?
In 1961, Fred Trump donated $2,500 to New York Mayor Robert F. Wagner Jr.'s reelection campaign, which helped him secure support for a major construction project, which some might call it a bribe. That's neither here nor there, I guess. The project was Trump Village, which sounds horrible, a massive apartment complex in Coney Island built between 1963 and 1964 for $70 million, which today would be $725 million, and was the only one to carry the Trump name. Because before this, they were like white sheet homes and shining hills or whatever. Throughout his career, Fred Trump built over 27,000 low-income housing units and row homes across New York City. But obviously, as we know, it was low-income housing for white people. Mm-hmm. In 1966, Fred Trump faced a new investigation by New York State for windfall profiteering related to his Trump Village project. He had significantly overestimated construction costs under a state program, leading to $598,000 in profit from equipment rentals, which he then diverted those profits into his other real estate ventures. Because he was like, oh, I had some cash left over, so I just spent it.
So he took it, yeah.
Like when your mom gives you $5 to go to the store and get some milk, and you like get like a 5-cent bubble gum, and she's like, yeah. Where's my change? Except it's $598,000 in 1966.
So how much is that?
Like $6 million.
Oop.
It's a fucking piece of shit, I swear.
I spent it.
I'm sorry, I spent it on the way home. During his January 27, 1966 testimony, Trump denied any personal wrongdoing and praised the success of Trump Village, which is so on brand for this family. He's like, it's actually doing amazing. I'm doing amazing things. I'm building low-income housing, the best housing you've ever seen. Investigators described him as a pretty shrewd character with a knack for extracting maximum profit from his housing developments. No criminal charges were filed, but the case highlighted a need for stronger oversight and accountability within the state housing program, which, like, you don't fucking say.
They slapped him on the wrist, and they're like, this little fucking scamp. This little scamp.
Yeah,
he's so good at what he does, though.
Don't do it again.
Don't do that again.
Unless you do. Unless you do, then I'm going to get you. Come here. Like me, when I get mad at Angus and then immediately pick him up and like scratch his head and rub his tummy. I'm like, what are you doing? Oh, don't do that. You're such a bad boy. You're so terrible. On July 1st, 1965, Fred Trump bought the defunct Steeplechase Park in Coney Island for $2.3 million, with plans to build luxury apartments on the site. In 1966, he unveiled a proposal for a 160-foot-high dome structure containing recreational spaces and a convention center. That September, he held a public event to demolish the park's iconic Pavilion of Fun, which was a large glass structure where guests were encouraged to smash its glass panels, including the funny face mascot, using commemorative bricks, which sounds so fun and so dangerous.
Okay, commemorative bricks is amazing. We should issue commemorative bricks.
The shipping? The bricks are $5, but the shipping is $300.
Also, I love like being like, we're going to throw a party to demolish fun.
Because he didn't want to pay.
Please demolish fun.
Yeah, please destroy fun.
Oh my God. I mean, I would destroy that face with a brick too.
Yeah, I would smash that fucking...
It's fucking unbelievable. A commemorative brick right through his left eye.
Just a month later, the city of New York announced its intent to reclaim the land for public recreation, and Trump launched several lawsuits over the rezoning fight and ultimately secured a $1.3 million payout. The land sat unused for years until Trump began leasing it to an operator of amusement rides, and then like a decade later, the city took it back. In 1968, Fred Trump's real estate business welcomed his son, officially, Donald Trump, which was around the time that Fred Christ allegedly helped Donald obtain a Vietnam War deferment by ensuring medical attention for a tenant who diagnosed Donald with bone spurs, making him the second Trump to avoid serving the country he took so much from. Now we're going to take another little break.
I wish he did go to Vietnam.
Oh, I wish all of these men had gone to war.
Not because I think it was a good or just war, but because he definitely would have died, right?
Oh, absolutely.
There's no way he would have survived Nam.
Honestly, he would have been like me in war. I would have shot one of my fucking comrades in the back of the head, piled their body on me, and laid underneath it until it was time to go home. I'm like, oh my God, what's that? Oh, would I have lived? Because I would have been, remember that scene in the Hunger Games where Katniss steps on Peeta's face or whatever because he painted. You have to have seen this meme.
I've never seen the Hunger Games.
That's insane. It's Twilight, but for people who think they're leftists.
I've never actually seen Twilight either. Wait, no, I think I've seen a couple of them. I haven't seen all of them.
Okay, well, eventually when Natalie Wynn makes a video about it, you'll watch it. Anyway, Homeboy was supposed to be like a cake decorator or whatever, which made no sense, but he painted his face in the movie to look like a rock. Like fucking insane.
What amazing. Amazing.
That would be me. That's me and
That's
Nom.
not real. That looks like a bit. That looks like a bit from like...
It looks like a character in Return to Oz. Like, what's happening?
It does look like a character from Return to Oz. What the
That's Rick Rock.
Okay, I need to see these movies. Let's get an ad for the Hunger Games.
Yeah. Or just like
Shut the fuck
a meal
up.
delivery service. Like skip the dishes, Hunger Games.
This looks like it looks like a sketch from I Think You Should Leave. Like that looks like Tim Robbins.
It's so good. We're back. In 1971, Donald became president of the company, and Fred took the role of chairman, which I assume he means he hunched over in the shape of a chair, and Donald sat on him during board meetings, but I'm not a business person. Donald rebranded the firm as the Trump Organization around 1973, and while Fred stayed focused on Brooklyn, Queens, and Staten Island, Donald turned his attention to Manhattan.
I mean, that was a smart branding choice because Trump and Son, not good. Like,
that's horrible.
The man understands branding. And actually, speaking of cringe liberals, making fun of him for shit, his ugly hair, you guys, he knows that the hair is ugly. That's his whole thing. He has a brand.
Okay, I'm gonna get canceled by people on Blue Sky for this or whatever. But making fun of his hair and calling him weird, calling Republicans weird. They were like, if only we had kept calling them weird, we would have won the election.
That is a cope. I think calling them weird was good. I do think Tim Walz should call out.
I don't think there
should go off.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I just don't think it was the winning. Election. Yeah, no, I don't think it was that was the clincher.
No.
Because they are weird. Yeah. But you know what? So are we.
But making fun of his hair, I think, is stupid. Again, he knows that the hair is bad. He has little cartoon figures. He sells merch with the ugly
so
hair.
Funny. Yeah.
He knows. He knows he's a clown. Yeah.
Well, what he doesn't want is for people to talk about how he's bald. So talking about how
his hair
is ugly, he's like, my what? Donald later said the division between like Fred taking Brooklyn, Queens, and Staten Island, Donald taking Manhattan was beneficial because they didn't have to compete with each other, and was like, I was like making it on my own. And publicly, Fred praised Donald's ambition and reportedly said that everything his son touched turned to gold, which I don't know if he's heard the story of Midas, but that takeaway was not supposed to be that that's good.
He like, literally meant like everything that my son touches turns to gold because he fucking loves gold leaf and he covers everything in gold leaf. Like, I'm
he's
so sick of the color gold.
At, like Hobby Lobby getting like sticky gold leaf sheets.
Like he has a rewards card at Michael's. Like,
oh, absolutely. Michael Jumanji Crafts.
That's right.
Other people tell a different story because there's a lot of Trumps running around. There's like other people in the family. There's lots of people who knew them and worked with them. So sources say Fred orchestrated the expansion into Manhattan himself and then sent Donald along, which seems very possible.
Also plausible, yeah.
Donald's niece, Mary Trump, claimed Fred was deeply involved in the early expansion into Manhattan. Former Trump Organization VP Louise Sunshine, which is an insane name, said Fred supported Donald entirely, including financially. So basically, he was doing his job for him, but then also like managing to pay his bills and his rent because Donald just wouldn't have.
Because he was the kind of kid who would drive around in a limousine delivering his newspapers. Like he needs daddy to do things for him.
Daddy, it's raining. Can you pay my rent? Which, you know what? I wish I had a daddy to pay my rent in the rain. During the mid-1970s, Fred gave Donald loans totaling more than $14 million.
That's crazy.
That $1 million startup like lie that you'll hear, like while campaigning for president, Donald claimed he only received a small loan of $1 million, which is still an insane thing to say.
And like 1970s money too. A tiny loan of $1 million.
Like 7 to 8 million, which would like have me set for life. Which is not a
tiny loan. Yeah.
Like I would literally never have to work again. Are you crazy?
Oh my God.
I mean, I would work again because I like to spend money, and I don't think I would handle that money well.
I like doing this job. But yeah, I mean, like...
Oh yeah, I would just do it in a much bigger place.
Even if I literally got $1 million, I would put $750,000 of it in an interest-bearing account. And then I would
put
live
the other
on the
$250,000 in my face.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, the surgeries. I would get that Lindsay Lohan facelift.
Oh, they're doing amazing things. Peeling
really
faces off these days. Oh my God. Science is phenomenal. A 2018 New York Times expose that I think probably a lot of people ended up seeing revealed Fred funneled Donald at least $413 million with inflation, making him a millionaire by age 8. And this included more than $60 million in loans that were never repaid. It was just a way of like moving money around.
Of course.
So at this point, Fred and Donald have large swaths of apartments all over New York, and being disgusting racist goblins made sure to skillfully make being a landlord even more deplorable somehow. The New York City Commission on Human Rights and the Urban League began to receive complaints from minority applicants, read as people of color, who were turned away from Trump-owned apartments. So in July 1972, both organizations sent little like secret shoppers to Trump properties to investigate potential discrimination. And I love this gumshoe shit. Like I love sending people out to like to get the real scoop. In the 2-part 1979 story, Like Father, Like Son, Anatomy of a Young Power Broker by Wayne Barrett, the same one that wrote that book, he digs into what really went on in the Trump apartments. So the case against Trump heavily relied on the results from the Urban League testers, pairs of white and black applicants who sought to rent apartments in Trump-owned buildings, and they would basically get 2 people with the same credentials. Obviously, it needs to be like a little bit off, but, you know, the same ability to pay their rent, pay back loans, whatever.
Basically the same job, same income, like.
Yeah, exactly. white applicants were routinely offered apartments, while Black applicants were told none were available. Norton requested federal investigation when patterns of discrimination emerged. So court records show that 4 superintendents or rental agents confirmed applications were coded by race before being approved or rejected by the central office. 3 doormen testified that they had been instructed to discourage Black applicants when management was absent, often just by lying about vacancies and saying there weren't any, or just like lying about how much the rent was and saying that it was much, much higher. Which was like lying about a vacancy. Well, people will try again later. But if you tell them the rent is like so far beyond what would be reasonable, they won't come back. A rental agent said Fred Trump explicitly instructed him not to rent to Black tenants and to reduce the number of existing Black residents by encouraging them to relocate.
Which, how do you encourage them to relocate?
Yeah. Just like, you should leave.
Just harass them a little bit.
Yeah. In public statements, Donald Trump alleged that the government was trying to force landlords to rent to welfare recipients and framed the case as an attack on long-term tenants and property owners, as if Black people were not long-term tenants.
Yeah, you had long-term tenants and you're trying to harass them into leaving.
Literally. Trump described the suit as reverse discrimination, which reverse discrimination is very funny as a phrase because that means not discrimination.
Yeah.
Like literally just the phrase reverse
the opposite
discrimination.
Of discrimination. Yeah.
And refused to let the government experiment with our buildings. But then in March 1974, when he had to testify, he claimed he had no idea about the racial composition of his buildings and said he was unfamiliar with the Fair Housing Act of 1968, which I don't think you have an excuse as a landlord to be like, oh, what's that? I've never heard of that before.
I don't know that I've ever even heard the term other than I know it's there.
He stated tenant eligibility was based solely on rent, was 25% or less of the tenant's income, initially saying only the husband's income was considered, but later revising that testimony when they were like, well, that's clearly not true, is it? Because we had people fucking coming out here. One ex-employee said that the code used at the Brooklyn office referred to lowlifes, a euphemism for Black people, Puerto Ricans, drug users, or anyone else that they deemed undesirable.
Undesirables.
In his experience, 9 times out of 10, though, undesirable meant the applicant was Black.
Yeah.
He also testified that Black tenants were regularly told no units were available, even when they were. And the rental agent that worked with them for literally only 2 weeks and then fucked off said that when he asked Fred Trump if he should rent to Black people, because he was getting the hint that maybe they weren't supposed to, he was told that it was absolutely against the law to discriminate, but was then instructed not to rent to Blacks. And further advised to, quote, get rid of the Blacks that were in the building by telling them cheap housing was available for them at only $500 down payment, which Trump would offer to pay himself. Trump didn't tell me where this housing was located, and he advised me not to rent to persons on welfare, end quote. So basically,
don't discriminate. Just find a way to make sure that certain kinds of people don't rent here. Absolutely do not discriminate.
There are 2 things I hate: discrimination and renting to Black people. So as their defense attorney, they hired friend of the channel, Roy Cohn, the frog-obsessed, self-hating homo New York lawyer who I've covered on this channel.
I love the Respect the Dead cinematic universe.
I fucking hate this guy so much. He went so hard for them, as Roy Cohn does.
I hate this fucking frog pervert.
He files a dramatic affidavit accusing the government of trying to replace private management with the welfare department, and defended the practice of only advertising in the New York Times, ironically arguing that the paper was geared to minorities because it once supported a Puerto Rican candidate over a Jewish one. So basically what they were saying was, not only are you discriminating when people get there, you are intentionally not putting ads in newspapers that are read by minorities. That's like according to the statements. I don't love using the word minority because it feels like super fucking vague. Like gingers are minorities, but I'm not sure that they were being rented to. Like it's like very specifically people of color and poor people, but people on welfare. But I would imagine a white welfare recipient would be much more likely to be rented to than a black one. In October 1974, Cohn tried to get the entire case dismissed and accused federal investigators of Gestapo-like tactics and undercover stings. And it's like me going to you to find out Nazis. Whether or not you're racist.
The real Nazis were the people who said that we needed to rent our apartments to black people.
When you think about it, aren't the real victims the people victimizing? Think about it. I haven't. Despite his inflammatory accusations, Cohn later backpedaled in court, emphasizing his close personal ties to the FBI and claiming he'd never really intended to criticize them. But around this time, they were still fucking doing it all.
Of course they were.
They're still discriminating. They're still fucking stealing money. Like, no fucking shame. No fucking cares in the world. They're just... Because they've never actually been fucking punished for anything.
No. They're like, okay, I won't do it then.
Fred at this time acquires up to a 20% stake in Brooklyn's Starrett City, a massively federally subsidized housing complex. And despite its imposed desegregation goals, the complex aimed to rent 70% of units to white tenants and 30% to people of color. Like, that was their compromise. Was like, listen, house 3 out of 10. And it's like, 30%. No, you are not supposed to be.
That's still discrimination.
Like, you're still limiting the amount of people of color.
What if we started letting black people in, but only the good ones?
Right. Definitely the ones
only the good
who
ones.
Had like connections, like high powered. Maybe
I have a black friend. I rent out to 30% of.
I have a black friend. He's a millionaire and he's renting 30% of my apartments in this building. And I pay him to do so. He's on every lease.
His name is Orenthal James Simpson.
He did get around. Oh my God. He is in the next one. We have a big 3-parter coming up, and everyone that's ever been on Respect the Dead is fucking in this one. It's insane. It's a rogues fucking gallery. So June 10th, 1975, the Trump Organization, the U.S. Department of Justice, signed a consent decree resolving the discrimination lawsuit, and both parties declared victory. The Trumps emphasized that the agreement didn't force them to rent to people on welfare, and the DOJ called it one of their most significant civil rights settlements in history. But they're both like, I guess you could say we both won. But no, they very objectively lost. Obviously, you can't force someone.
That's something that Junior does all the time, too. That's something that Donald Trump does all the time, too. Is he's like, he loses court cases and he's like, but if you think about it, I actually won.
But if you don't think about it, maybe I'm the winner. The decree prohibited Fred and Donald personally and as corporate officers from discriminating in the sale or rental of housing, of any of their housing. And it required the Trump Organization to run apartment ads in minority newspapers for 2 years and to promote minorities to professional level roles in the organization. It's like they went hard on them. Something I don't think would ever happen today.
No, not anymore.
Like actually being like you.
They would call that DEI.
Yeah. Like, if you don't promote people, you're not going to be able to have your business, is wild. I'm here for it. Fuck these people. Yeah. But it's not something I would hear, like you would hear about. It's something you would hear people claiming happens today because of cancel culture. Be like, oh, so what if everyone in my corporation is white and we all wear cute little hoods with eye holes in them to our board meetings? They also had to offer listings to minority applicants on a preferential basis, like full on. If you have 2 applicants and they are the same, you need to get those rookie numbers up, baby. Yeah. So if one of them's a person of color, you got to rent to them.
You actually you do have a quota. This is DEI.
Yeah. And they were required to become thoroughly familiar with the Fair Housing Act of 1968, which meant they'd both need to learn to read.
Donald and Friedrich Trump, literate kings.
Oh my God. Going back to school, strangers with candy style, both of them in class, like father and son. Amazing.
Writing out their ABCs.
And then we're getting so close to the end, but let's take another cute little break because I want to get peed.
Let's get an ad for the ABCs.
Oh my God, yes. Let's get an ad for literacy in America.
I
How about
love
that?
Being literate.
Hooked on phonics. So not only were they racist pieces of excrement. It's French. They were also slumlords. Like, not only were they denying people
I knew this too.
the rights to live in their buildings were fucking horrible.
Falling apart, made out of like soggy cardboard.
Yeah. They're like, hope you love our beautiful stained glass windows. They're made out of broken bottles that I made my small children's fingers pick up 30 years ago.
Oh my God, that sounds so beautiful though. Like when the light hits it just
I would
right.
actually fuck with that so hard.
Yeah.
When the light hits it so hard and they bake in the sun and they smell like beer and piss.
Children's dirty fingers.
Yeah. In 1975, tenants at two of Fred Trump's tower complexes in Norfolk had to go on a month-long rent strike to get any attention to their living conditions, like rats, bugs, and broken basics like heating, AC, and the elevators not working, which is insane. Like, I'm sorry, if you have some 20 fucking floor thing with no heating or AC, and you have to go up the stairs.
It's cute that they managed to organize a rent strike, though. We could never get that nowadays. We all just sit in our apartments and fume and tweet about it.
Yeah. They obviously didn't want to fix anything, of course. So in early 1976, they had to be ordered by a Maryland judge to fix housing code violations at a 504-unit complex. The property had broken windows, crumbling gutters, which is how bad does your gutter need to be to crumble?
Oh my God.
What are you made out of?
There's gutters left over from the Roman era. What the fuck?
And all the fire extinguishers were missing, which is so fucking funny.
Of course. The fire alarm is just a sign that's smell smoke, get out,
die.
Die.
Just stop, drop, and roll your apartment.
Stop, drop, and roll out the window of the 20th floor.
Down the crumbling gutter. When Frederick Christ finally showed up to discuss the matter in court in September 1976, he was arrested on site, which is hilarious, but later released on a $1,000 bail, which I hate.
Come on, guys.
Because it's always the smallest amount. It's if this giant corporation doesn't stop whipping their employees, we're going to fine you $1 every day for the next year.
Bail needs to be a percentage of your income, not a set amount,
And I think if you make over a certain amount of money, bail needs to be a percentage of your assets too.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. If you're Elon Musk and you do a hit and run, your bail needs to be $45 billion.
Yeah. It needs to be Twitter. It needs to be Twitter.
Off. Oh yeah, give us Twitter back.
Give us Twitter and we'll let you out.
Give us the janitor keychain to Twitter. Here's the key to DMs. Here's the key to Grok. In 1987, when Donald owed over $1 million to Fred invested $15.5 million in Trump Palace condos and sold the shares back to Donald for $10,000.
That sounds shady.
Dodging millions in gift taxes with a suspiciously convenient loss write-off on top of it. It's I lost $15.5 million. It's but you lost it to your son who is part of your business. In 1990, with an $18.4 million bond payment due for Trump's castle in Atlantic City, Fred had a bookkeeper buy $3.5 million in casino chips that were never used. essentially giving Donald an illegal loan.
Yeah.
New Jersey's Casino Control Commission fined Trump's castle $65,000.
A castle in Atlantic City is the saddest thing I think I've ever heard.
I think Trump's castle is the casino.
I assumed it's the casino, but still,
but I wonder if it looks like a castle.
When you hear that name, you can smell it, can't you?
Oh, absolutely.
You can smell it.
Okay, it looks like shit.
Send me a picture.
Trash, garbage.
Oof. Yeah, you can smell it. $4.89 prime rib.
Oh, how prime.
Got diarrhea just thinking about it.
Also a beautiful name for a girl.
Diarrhea. Rhea.
Dia. I love almost all of my favorite
Lady
names
Di.
for oh my god, yes. Almost all my favorite names for kids were like things that killed people in the like early 1900s.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh my god, my little dysentery, Terry.
Oh.
In 1992, Fred and Donald created a shell company that gave each of Fred's surviving children a 20% stake and served no real purpose except to commit tax fraud. The company massively overbilled Fred for basic maintenance items like boilers, allowing the family to funnel millions of dollars to Donald and siblings while, again, avoiding gift taxes. And then Fred Trump spent decades promoting his rags to riches public image, including the like, my children are pulling themselves up from their bootstraps. Everything they touch turns to gold, because he wants to maintain this narrative so that when he dies and gives the company to Donald, now he has that like mythos carried on.
Mm-hmm.
And like, oh, well, you can trust him. It wasn't like, yes, I built this company, but everything he's been doing, yes.
Even
but
though he's like failed at everything he's tried. Yeah.
Like, yes, you're a businessman, but you're not like good at it.
Yeah.
Like you actually don't need to be good at business to make more money with money. All you have to do to make more money is be rich.
Especially when you're like not paying your construction contractors and stuff. Like that's not genius business running, business management. That's just fraud. Crimes. It's just stealing.
That's just crime, sweetie.
And as we know, crime pays.
It's literally says it right there on the tin.
He's the law and order president.
Oh my God. The first time I heard that, I was like, doesn't even make any sense. And then I realized they weren't talking about the TV show.
He loves Dick Wolf.
He's like, yeah, I'm the SVU president, just so you know. And I'm like, I believe that about you, sweetie. So with help from PR specialist Howard Rubenstein, aligning himself with the Horatio Alger myth, and even winning the Horatio Alger Award in 1985. For anyone that doesn't know, he was like an American YA author who wrote about poor little boys in their super strappy boots.
Going on little adventures.
Giving If Tom Sawyer eventually became a venture capitalist. Like stuff that men, little white boys love.
Scrappy
to be
entrepreneurs.
Fed as inspiration. In his speech accepting that award, Fred Trump credited his success to enthusiasm and learning from other successful people and emulating their good traits and avoiding the bad, which is not what happened. And then he misattributed the quote, "never follow an empty wagon because nothing ever falls off," to William Shakespeare while tapping his head for emphasis, which I love. I love the idea of like getting something wrong, but being like,
makes you think, doesn't it?
Never in my life have I funked. In 1990, Donald tried to rewrite his father's will to give himself sweeping control of the estate, essentially cutting out siblings and creditors and possibly Ivana with the flick of a pen. And I love that.
I mean, that's hilarious. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Rewriting your father's will.
President.
Perfect.
to write out your siblings.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Fred realized what was happening and refused. And in 1991 wrote a new will naming Donald, Marianne, and Robert as co-executors because he was like, you should not be in charge of this by yourself. I see what you're doing.
Yeah. You little scamp. I know who I raised.
I know, right? Like, I'm sorry, did you not know that I was scamming with you the entire time? Like, I know what this is.
You can't scam the scam king.
Yeah.
If you're going to scam the scam king, you best come for the king's horns and not, I'm mixing metaphors here.
Fred Jr.'s children, Fred III, Tripp, and Mary, were written out of their late father's share, with Fred Sr.'s lawyer gently warning this might stir up resentment. But by 1991, Fred was diagnosed with dementia and couldn't recall his own birth date or age. And by the mid-90s, he didn't recognize longtime acquaintances or even people like his own granddaughter, Mary. Fred was reportedly so far gone by 1993 that he needed reminding why he was Donald's best man at his wedding, which is hilarious. It's like, wait, why the fuck did I do that again?
Doing here?
Which honestly, totally fair. Anytime I go to any like heterosexual function, I'm standing around like, sorry,
what
wait,
am I here
why
for
am I
again?
here?
Oh, right.
Who is this for?
Open bar.
Right. Donald later admitted he noticed symptoms of Alzheimer's in his dad in the mid-90s, but then later would lie and be like, I wasn't taking advantage of him. He was always sharp as a tack. In 1993, Fred's estate was estimated to give each surviving child $35 million. But they had already, like, money's already been funneled as well, right? Like, this is not the only money they're receiving. Most properties were transferred into two trusts that funneled 2/3 of the wealth to Fred's 4 surviving children. The collective estate was declared at $41.4 million and then sold in 2004 for more than 16 times that, dodging hundreds of millions in gift taxes once again.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
They can't keep getting away with it, and yet they do.
And yet he didn't, because Fred Christ died on June 25th, 1999 at 93 from pneumonia at Long Island Jewish Medical Center. His funeral drew over 600 mourners.
That's crazy.
They probably thought he was going to hand out $25 swordfish balloons or something.
Or like he was going to have like a little flower girl, basically, except instead of petals, she's like
with
throwing
money.
Coins. Yeah.
Yeah. Ow.
Just whipping them at people's mourners' heads.
Okay, I want to be that flower girl. Like a basket full of fucking loonies, just like... He was buried in Queens, and the family estimated his estate at $250 to $300 million, but he had just like $1.9 million in liquid cash. After taxes, $20 million was split among his surviving children and grandchildren.
Well, they paid some taxes. Look at that.
Yeah, finally. His wife, Mary, died in August 2000, leaving a combined estate value at $51.8 million. Fred Jr.'s children contested the will, arguing Donald, Marianne, and Robert manipulated their father while he was mentally compromised. And I think they did. The 3 executors publicly claimed Fred was sharp as a tack, as I said, till the end, despite also acknowledging his cognitive decline.
He always asked the same questions over and over again. It was like a cute little joke in the family. He was always like, who are you?
Where am I?
Why are you talking to me?
Where am I? How did I get here?
It was a cute little thing that we had together.
We always had this funny joke where he would beg me to kill him and I'd laugh. According to granddaughter Mary Trump, Donald made cruel remarks about his father up until his death after his Alzheimer's set in. And that's the end of that.
Oh, well, they nailed the wrong Christ to a tree.
I've always said this. I have always said this. In the morgue, which is just for our Patreon and YouTube members, you can get access to our suggestion cemetery to submit someone, but we also do like a little debrief where after every episode, we have a little chat about it. And in this one, I think we're just going to talk about Donald for a little bit. Just some of the familial similarities. I'd love to hear some that Hoots picked up on. Being an American, I'm Canadian, which is much, much better. And
it's
honestly,
true.
I'm a little tuned out at this point because I don't have Twitter. So I have no idea what Donald's up to other than all the horrible immigration and ICE policies that are happening right now. So if you want to see that, if you want a little special episode just for special people, you can sign up on our Patreon or YouTube members. I'm Dr. Kaylin Conrad. You can find me on Blue Sky at Kaylin and everything else as at Kaylin Conrad. And on my YouTube channel where I do video essays, investigate fringe groups. And in my latest video, I document going to a ghost hunting paranormal college and speedrunning my ghost doctorate PhD.
I'm Hoots. You can find me on Twitter at Punished Hoots. You can find me on YouTube, Hoots YouTube. I recently, yesterday, as of time of this recording, released a video about
so good.
I took a trip to Finland. So go see my little travelogue about that. And I'm on Blue Sky at Hoots. I don't really skeet a ton, but find me on all this stuff.
You should follow us there anyways, so that we look more popular than we are.
Yeah.
So thanks to Davi Armanino for editing this episode. You can check more of their work out at daviarmanino.com. You should, because they're amazing. Okay,
Bye.
We'll see you in the morgue.